Let's see this
Right.
missing.
All right, so
Yeah.
you wanted to do some illustration training.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have access to a computer?
Yes, I'm on the tablet right now. Just gonna connect that way. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Yes.
Okay.
Meeting like 894. One 75. 175. Okay. 9. 985. 53. Okay. Okay. How did it- Video.
All right. Let's see if I can. I'm gonna try to. Oh, all right. So I'm gonna try to share my screen. See
Okay.
if this works. Okay. Do not disturb.
Is there a way I can have are you recording this?
Yes, I'm recording it. Yeah, so and then I can give you the recording so you can go back. So I wanted to just pull up the NLG app so you can see how easy it is, whether you're on the app or if if we do it through the computer or whatever. But being able to, you can see right here, right? Once you log in, right?
Right.
You can go to new business.
Uh-huh.
Pretty sure that's how you do it. Let's see, home. I know there's a way for you to illustrate here. Obviously, the app got updated recently. So, quick quote right here. Quick quote. So it's pretty straightforward, right? So you pick, the state that you're working in. For us, mainly going to be California.
Yeah.
And then you have your IOL, which is very simple, and you're not going to be able to do any kind of fancy illustrations for max cash value or anything like that. But
Right.
at least it gives you an option to give you an idea of generally about how much coverage they could get. And then you can basically, that you can tweak it down from there, right? And you can explain that to them. Term is very easy. So you go to LSW term.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty straightforward. So let's just say, your client's 35 years old. Say they're a female. And standard non-tobacco, right? So that's pretty straightforward. And now you can, You know, if they're really healthy, you can make it higher. I like to just stick with standard.
Mhm.
At the most, I will illustrate with select, but I never go preferred or elite, just because you like we've talked about before, you don't want to illustrate with the low cost and then insurance company comes back and says, oh no, you need to do blood work, or it's going to be more money, or whatever it is, right? So
Right.
so we can do select, but let's just say they want, I don't know, $500,000 of coverage. Done. And then you can basically get quote. Very simple. Good
Wow.
quote. And there you go. So for 30-year, you're looking at $52 a month, 20-year, $36 a month, or $410 a year, right? Depending how you want to look at it. 10-year, 15-year. The ART is an annual renewable term. Let's say they just want the cost of insurance to go up every year, or I only want to pay like, you know, the cheapest amount for a few years, and I can always get another policy later. Hey, the annual renewable term is an option for them. I typically don't go that route. So we typically try to just give you, hey, look, lock in your payment right now that you're young, you're healthy, and it's not going to go up for those 30 years, right? So 30-year, 20-year, whatever it is, at least you can tell them, hey, your cost is locked in. It'll never go up. You're never going to lose coverage, and your price is locked in. The coverage is locked in, and the price of the premium is locked in for those 30 years. So that's pretty much it. I mean, see, that's very, very, very easy, right? You can click on the one you want. And you could, let's say I want to save the 30-year. You go save case, and then this allows you to then easily go back in if you want to tweak it later, or I think you can even submit the app through submit the application through the app as well. So it's pretty straightforward, right? So you can go back here, go back to quick quote. I guess I need to go back. So if you want to go back and say, you know what, I want to illustrate a different kind of policy. All right, well, I want to do a flex life IUL. And then remember, for NLs, the NL, the flex life NL, peak life NL, all the NL ones are the ones for New York, which we don't do, right? You're not licensed in New York. But if you were, then obviously you could make sure you use that one for specifically for the state of New York. So and then let's talk about a little bit about the differences, right? So flex life IUL versus peak life IUL. Flex life is generally for lower death benefit. It can be under $1 million. I think you can get as low as 25,000. I think is the lowest coverage you can get on an IUL. Peak life is for more higher death benefit. I think a minimum of $1 million is required for peak life. But peak life does have some unique benefits in that they have what they're called like performance riders, or basically what it allows you to do is multiply the percentage that you earn in your interest that gets applied every year. So you do pay a little bit. You pay a little bit of a cost to that, you know, through your premiums or whatever. But let's say you earn 9% on your IUL, you might have a performance factor or something that is, let's say, 3%. So that like they'll multiply it, let's say, by 3% or whatever it is. So it'll be actually more than the 9%. So and I'm not explaining it the best way, but the point is that you minimum of $1 million, and it does give you the option to buy additional interest crediting. Okay. So, but let's say that you go negative, then, you know, you obviously would have paid for that. There should have been a particular percentage. So, but it does have those really cool options, because that way you can earn more, potentially earn more, right? If you feel that the market is going to do really well. Like right now, I think the market's going to continue to do well for at least a couple of years with because so much money that they're putting into the market. But if you think, hey, the market's going to go down, then, you know, you don't have to buy that extra interest crediting. So for us, typically we like to go with flex life, right? It's very simple.
Right.
For flex life IUL. Okay, we'll do the same thing. A 35-year-old female. We'll do select non-tobacco. And then here the solve for. So this one defaults to minimum death benefit max cash value. So it's already going to try to do the calculation in the computer to give you the least amount of death benefit for the most amount of cash that you can input into it. Okay. So for example, on this one, let's say the monthly premium, let's say, you know what, I only want to put like, I don't know, $200 or something. Like basically this thing is going to solve for you, depending on the amount of premium that you're going to pay, it'll tell you exactly how much coverage that the computer, that the program is going to give you, right? So it's going to calculate the death benefit for you, depending on the premium that you put in. And you also have the option of whether you want to do level or increasing, right? We'll just keep it level for now. And as you remember what we talked about for level versus increasing, level basically means that your death benefit is going to remain the same regardless of how much money is in your cash value. Okay, and why would they do that? Well, basically what you're doing is you're basically paying only for the insurance that is on top of whatever cash value you have. So for example, if I have a death benefit of $100,000 and I have $50,000 in my cash value, you're only paying for $50,000 of insurance because you already have, you're self-insuring for that $50,000 that's in your cash value. So if you die, you only get the $100,000, right? So basically you're paying for the $50,000 extra death benefit on top of what's in your cash value. And a lot of people like to do this so that as they get older, as the cost of insurance goes up, and as they continue to pay premiums and build up their cash value, they're paying for less and less insurance as they get older.
Right.
The other option, increasing,
Mm-hmm.
is basically whatever death benefit you have, you're going to get that plus whatever's in your cash value. So it's going to keep increasing with whatever amount you have of cash value. So if I have $100,000 of death benefit and I have $50,000 of cash value, I'm actually going to get 150. I have 150,000 of death benefit. So I'm going to get both. And basically you're paying, as you get older, you're going to continue to pay for the $100,000 of death benefit, right? So whatever's in your cash value, as that continues to grow, you're always going to keep paying for that 100,000.
Okay.
So that's the main difference. So we'll just keep it level for now. We'll say quick quote or get quote. Okay. So right there, it's going to tell you, okay, if you want to pay $200 of premium a month, it comes out to like, $2,400 a year. You're going to get a death benefit of $154,183. And it's showing you about how much income you can get from now. So remember, this person is 35. She's a female. So basically, if you pay that $200 for, the next, 30 years is give or take, right? Because it's telling you paying premiums to age 65 or 20 years, whichever's longer, which in this case, it'd be 30 years because, she's 35. And it's basically telling you that if you pay those $200 and you have, whatever the basic interest rate is, which is like 5.5%, 6%, whatever it is, then you could take out at age 66 about $13,000 a year so that you can have income in retirement, which is, $1,000. So let's say you're collecting Social Security of $1,000 or $200, $1,300, whatever it is, plus this $1,000, and that's $2,300, right? Basically doubles your Social Security, right? So for someone that doesn't want to pay a lot into a life insurance policy, this is, a good way to supplement their income in retirement. So that's how you would explain it to somebody. And say, hey, if you want to pay more, you want to have more death benefit, or you want to put more money in your cash value, okay, I can do that for you. And then that you probably need to go into your computer and tweak it and do like some of the other stuff that I've showed you before.
Right.
So, it's just pretty straightforward as far as calculating with the quick quote on the app. Doesn't give you a lot of options, but it's just something for you to really quickly see, okay, well, how much can you afford? Okay, about $100. Okay, $300. Well, I want to put $500 towards the policy. Okay, you're going to get a lot more coverage, right? We can easily go here change. You know what? It's going to be $500 a month. They want to put in like $3,000 a year. Get quote. Again, the computer's doing the calculation and making it so you put more money of cash value into your, more of your premiums into goes to cash value, and you're only paying for the minimum amount of death benefit. So in this case, if you pay $500 a month of premium, you're going to get a death benefit of $396,000, and at retirement at age 66, you can pull out about $35,000 a year, which basically means that's like $3,000 almost a month. So I mean, that's not bad, you know. So definitely a good way to kind of show that. And then again, you can save the case and then submit the application later.
Select non-tobacco, is that a better rating than standard?
Yes. So it kind of goes up, right? So you have standard, select, preferred, elite.
Oh, okay.
You have the express ones, which I think basically means that like I think they can get higher or faster approval, but they're going to cost you a little bit more, right? And then you have, so again, I never, unless I like, if I see that the person's healthy, they're skinny, they're good, they have no medical condition or anything, I might do the select. I might quote it as a select, but more than likely, if I see that you have a little bit of, you know, maybe they're a little chunky, or maybe they're really short, or, you know, they maybe, you know, that they have some health things or something, then I'm going to go standard every time. I don't even want to mess around with it. So you can always default to standard, and just that way you kind of stay out of trouble there. But if you see that, hey, you know what, this person is 25 years old, they're really healthy, they work out, they're, you know, they exercise every day, whatever it is that, you know, and they don't have no medical things, then yeah, go select. If you want to try prefer, that's up to you. But again, you run the risk of the insurance company either requiring blood work and medical records and all that stuff, or, you know, that they say, no, you know what, we're not going to approve that. It's going to actually be a little bit more. So that's up to you at that point. You have to make that decision for yourself. Okay, now let's go back a little bit. So then you have basic secure. Basic secure is a fixed universal life. So while an IUL, right, an index universal life gives you the ability to earn interest, right? Credit your the way that they credit you, the interest rate is based on the indexes that you put in. You're basically kind of tying your money, your cash value, to the market, but you're not actually invested in the market. And so, but you have potential for more higher premium, like more higher interest, but you also have the potential for the interest to be zero, right? It will never be negative, but you could be at zero. A fixed universal life basically gives you a fixed interest credit rating. So let's say they might be 2%, 3%, 4%, whatever it is, but it's fixed. It's never going to change. And you're like basically guaranteed. So if someone that doesn't want to worry about all the indexing and then potentially investing and this and that, like, you know what, just tell me I'm going to earn my 2%. My money's going to be safe. You can go fixed universal life. And, you know, that's another option. So that's basically like their standard universal life. And that's why they call it a basic secure. Like, hey, your money's secure. You're never going to lose anything. You're going to be good. And then I'm not too sure the fit focus income or fit horizon income. I'm assuming that's more for, I think, probably elderly or something like that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. You know, I know like on the website, they have whole life, which is not a very good whole life product, but I'm surprised they don't have it here on the app. So I heard that NLG is actually working on a new whole life product. So we'll see if they ever come out with that. So for now, you know, I wouldn't really illustrate whole life with NLG. If you're going to do a whole life, I'd go, if, you know, with the Mass Mutual, or what's the other one that we have? I think even FNG has a whole life that's decent. And I think Americo has a whole life that's decent. Americo is a little expensive. I wouldn't probably go whole life with Americo unless they're older and you're doing like a final expense. All right, so this NLG, right, is pretty easy. Do you have any questions on NLG?
No, so far I just need to, I guess, put different scenarios with like each one to see the difference in prices and stuff. But
Exactly.
yeah.
So as you're running your appointments, especially with older people, like IULs typically are not good for older people, okay?
Right.
Unless they have money, unless they have real money to put into a policy and max out the cash value, then I wouldn't even be thinking about that for them, especially if they're only trying to pay $100, $200, $300 a premium. It's not going to work out. You don't get a lot of coverage, or it gets more expensive as they get older, because remember, with IULs, it's basically an annual renewable term with cash value. So every year the cost of insurance is going up, going up. With whole life, it's the same. It's a fixed cost for the rest of your life. So, or until maturity, basically. So that's the difference between IUL and whole life. And so for an older person that doesn't have a lot of money to put into a policy, I would steer away from illustrating an IUL for them. I mean, you could do it just to show them how expensive that might. Hey, this is your real expensive option, but here's another option that's cheaper, and then that could be a way that you sell it. But that's up to you at that point.
So
Okay.
it'd be most recommended LSW and between peak life and basic secure, for example, for an older person.
If anything, I would maybe do the basic secure, but again, with older people, IULs or universal life is usually not the best thing for them, unless they have money to put in. So let's say they have, I don't know, a couple $100,000 in the bank. I mean, in their IRA or 401k or whatever, and they're, they want to have more growth, but keep it safe, get it out of the market, right? You'd have to learn how to sell it that way. Hey, well, what if you could protect your retirement money and make sure that it doesn't ever go down in value, and you have the potential to still keep it growing, and be able to use it in retirement and generate tax-free income in retirement. And then, so in that case, you might say, okay, so what we recommend is doing what we call a strategic roll out, not a rollover, a roll out. And basically what that means is for the next 5 years, let's say you have, 250,000 in your IRA or 401k, you say you're going to pull out 50,000 from there. You're going to pay the taxes on it this year, and you're going to put that 50,000 into a universal life policy, max out your cash value. And over the next 5 years, every year, you're going to put in another 50,000, another 50,000. It's going to continue to earn interest tax-free in the policy. Your cash value is going to earn interest. And basically by the time the 5 years are up, when you put in the last payment, you should net out your 250,000. You should be able to basically have your full 250,000 that you had, and you can start earning interest on that. Let's say you're earning 9% interest on that money at 250,000. I mean, that's what 9, so that's 18 plus 50. It's another 5. Let's call it. You could be earning $24,000 of tax-free income off that money, and you never deplete your principal, meaning that 250,000 never goes down. All you're living is off the interest, and it's going to continue to grow if you don't need that money, right? You can leave it there. Plus, when you die, it's going to blossom. That 250,000 is going to turn into however much money you have in death benefit, right, of coverage. So that's the way that you can kind of sell it to your clients if they have that kind of money. And then if you want to learn more about that, I suggest watching videos from Doug Andrew. So if you go to YouTube and look up Doug Andrew, three-dimensional wealth, he has amazing videos and training and like just walking you through kind of how that works, how to do all that stuff. But I've learned a lot from his stuff, so I recommend that you check that out.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to Americo. So Americo, I don't think they have an app, but you can just go to, well, it's quote.americo.com. Okay. So here's Americo. Okay, we kind of looked at this before, but just a quick overview. So you have accidental death benefit, you have an advantage whole life, you have your cashback option 100 or cashback option 50. This basically means that, right, if it's like a term with the ability to get your money back, the CBO 100 means you would get 100% of your money back. The CBO 50 is you get 50% of your money back. So obviously the CBO 100 is going to be a little bit more expensive than the CBO 50, but it's great ROP, cashback option. Continuation, I think this is where you can continue to receive income if you get sick or something like that. The Eagle Premier Series is your final expense product. So for older clients that just want a little bit of coverage, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30,000, whatever it is, Eagle Premier is going to be the option that you want to pick. The Payment Protector, I think, is for like mortgage insurance or something like that. Then you have the Term 100 and Term 125. The difference between the Term 100 and the Term 125 is term is basically just a straight term, right? Whatever the death benefit is, that's what it is. And the 125, I believe it gives you an additional 25% of accidental death benefit.
Oh,
so
okay.
if you have $100,000 of coverage for standard term, right? The Term 125 will kick in if you die by an accident, an extra $25,000. I believe that's how that works. So let's look at these guys. So Term 100, California, we'll go create. It's going to tell you, okay, what it is. It's, again, we'll do the same thing so we can kind of compare. So 35-year-old female. We'll go standard, non-nicotine. Those are the only two options they have. Say we use, actually, let's let them calculate what we want. So on this one, the most we can go is 400,000. Okay. Just so you know, for Americo, anything above 250,000 of coverage, you have to do a saliva test. Just a mouth swab, saliva. We can order the saliva kits from them, and then but if they want more than $250,000 of coverage, you're gonna have to do that. So just keep that in mind. But the max that you can do on Americo is 400,000. So here you have the payment option: monthly, bi-weekly, or annual. Just leave it as monthly. And then we can select the different options. Wrong one. Sorry, my fat fingers. So run. So here we go. You can see how much more expensive it is. I mean, the NLG 30-year, $500,000 of coverage for a female 35 years old. The 30-year was like what, $52 or something like that. This is more than double for less coverage.
That's true.
So, yes, they pay more in commission, but like this is not the best thing for your client. When you know that you have something else that's just as good, if not better,
right,
for less. Right. So if you know that NOG is cheaper on terms and you get the 4 living benefits, terminal illness, chronic illness, critical injury, you have all 4 of those living benefits, which is basically like disability insurance wrapped into the policy. So you know that you can get your client more coverage, 500,000 for less than half for 30 years. I mean, that's like, why would you sell them this, right?
Right.
When you know that you can get them something cheaper and more coverage, more benefits. So yeah, so that's it. I mean, this, so again, pretty straightforward, right? And you can go to the riders. You can add a children's term rider, in case if you have kids, how much coverage you want for your kids. Waiver of premium, that means if you can't make the payment for a month, for whatever reason, you can kick in the, hey, a waiver of premium. That means basically if you don't pay for a month, like they're not going to cancel your policy. They're going to waive the premium for that month or whatever it is. So that way you don't lose the coverage if you have like a month that, you maybe fell in some hard times or something, got lost your job or whatever. And then you can have an additional insured term, which is basically just adding someone else to your policy, I think is what it is. So, all right, so let's go back to design. Let's go back to new. Go to California again. Let's look at the Eagle Premier, right? Final expense product. Let's go to create. So minimum, I think the minimum age is 50. Say they're a female, non-smoker. Let's see, you know what? They want to cover not just the cost of the funeral, but they want to have a little bit extra to give to their families. So you know what? They want like, I don't know, 35,000. Let's see if this allows it. Oh, the most is 30,000. That's the most you can do on Eagle Premier.
Okay.
Monthly Eagle Premier product or Eagle Premier Guaranteed. So the Eagle Premier Guaranteed is basically right where let's say they have some sort of illness or whatever it is. I think they cover certain things. You can do the guaranteed, which basically means that they'll have some coverage initially, but it'll go up every year for the first 5 years or first couple of years. Typically, we just do the Eagle Premier. You can do run. So this is a whole life product. It can get you $30,000 of coverage. You're a 50-year-old female for $95, basically, right? So pretty straightforward. You can go to riders. You can kind of do the same. You can add a child or grandchild term rider. Let's say I want, in case my grandchild dies, I want at least, I don't know, $5,000. That's all you get. And let's say I have, 5 grandchildren or something. Go run. So I added $5, basically for each $1,000, it costs you $1.
Wow.
That's in case one of your children's die. At least you get that 5,000 or something like that. I really don't use these. It doesn't make a lot of sense. If you're a family, if you're a husband or something, you got 4 kids. Okay, yeah, maybe add the term rider or something, the child rider, because it's really, really cheap. Maybe you might pay an extra $1 or $2 for the coverage, for let's say $10,000, something like that. I think NLG is pretty cheap. Let's do the CBO 100 just to show you. So again, let's say you have a 35-year-old female. So remember, and you've seen my presentation for how easy it is to kind of illustrate this. You see, okay, ma'am, so we have a couple options. The first and the cheapest option is a term. Okay, and a term basically is really, really great for, you can get a lot of coverage for really low cost. However, depending on the term that you get, let's say 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, after that time, if you have not passed away, that's it. You do not get any of your money back. Any of the money that you paid, or the premiums that you paid, you do not get it back. It's lost. It's gone forever. Think about like your car insurance, right? If you pay your car insurance every month, after 6 months, right? If you don't get an accident, that's it. You lost that. You paid for the coverage. You were insured while you had that, but after that, it's gone. That's the way kind of term works. Now, another option that we have is called an ROP, or return of premium, or also known as cashback option. And so how would you like to get all of your money back after 30 years if you don't pass away? So like, well, yeah, I would love to get my money back. Okay, well, now just this option is great because you get your money back, but it is a little bit more expensive. But remember, any money that you pay for those 30 years or however long your term coverage is, you're going to get all of that money back. So it's a great option so that at least you're going to get something after your coverage is done. And so that's how easy it is to sell it, right? And you can illustrate, how much it might be. So let's just say you want to, do $250,000 of coverage monthly. Give you the options here. Let's just see what the cost is for all of these. So, ma'am, so for $250,000 of coverage, that means basically if you die at any point in time while you're covered, your family's going to get to $250,000 guaranteed. Now, a 30-year plan here is going to be $147.08. But if you calculate that out, we could just do a quick little math here on my calculator. So 147.08, okay, times 360 months or 30 years, right? Equals $52,948. So you would pay $52,948, but after 30 years, if you haven't passed away, you would get all of that money back. So that is a great option to guarantee that you at least have something after that coverage is over if you haven't passed away. But again, if you die any point during that coverage time, your family gets the full death benefit of $250,000. So very, very easy to explain it and illustrate it. And they might look at you and say, okay, well, for 15 years, why is it so much? $410. And why is 30 year only 147 when they're covering so much longer? Well, ma'am, basically the insurance company is going to invest the money that you're paying every month. That's why they're able to offer this option of giving you all your money back, because they're going to be making money on the money that you're paying, right? Assuming that you live for the entire time that you're covered. And, you know, they might ask you, well, why would the insurance company give me all of my money back? That doesn't make any sense. Why would they do that? Well, ma'am, actually it makes a lot of sense, because every month that you're paying, they're able to go and invest that money and earn interest on the money. And if you happen to die, they're going to pay you out. But if you don't die, then at the end of the year, at the end of that term, they're going to give you all your money back. But they would have already made their money back as well. They would have made some money off of, you know, you paying your premiums every month. And that's why they're able to offer you this amazing product. Boom, right? So that's very easy how you can answer their questions and get them to understand why the insurance company would offer a product like this. Okay, so that's CBO. So again, it's pretty straightforward. Do you have any questions on those?
CBO, no.
Okay, so again, CBO 100 means you get 100% of your premiums back. CBO 50 means you get 50% of your premiums back. So on that scenario, instead of getting 52,000, they might get 26,000, right? But it's actually going to be a little bit less expensive. Just to see how much less. Female, 250,000. Run. Yeah, see, so like it's what, like $34 cheaper for the 30 year. So it is cheaper, but you only get half your money back, right? So how much is that? 113.75 times 360 is 40,950. So you get back about $20,000, right? So yeah, the insurance company is definitely going to make money off that one. Okay, and then you have your whole life policies. Advantage whole life. Again, this whole life is not the best. It's a little expensive. I don't even know if this allows, let's see, does it allow younger ages? Yeah, I think it does. So let's say female, non-smoker, substandard rating none. So let's say, you know what, I only want to pay $200 a month. Oh, let's face it, let's see, premium amount. So you can pick the amount of coverage you want for them, or you can pick the premium that you want. So monthly, and then you have Advantage Whole Life, you have Run. So for $200 a month, they would get $157,000 of coverage of death benefit, and then you know that there's a cash value with these whole life policies. So a portion of that $200 is going to be going to a cash value account. So pretty straightforward there. Let's see what kind of riders they have. So you can add accidental death benefit. You can add some more coverage. So you know what? If I die from an accident, I want to add an extra $50,000 or something. Let's see if it allows you to do that. Yeah. So you can actually run that too and say, hey, if you die from an accident, we can actually add a little bit more coverage. I think it didn't even change you got a little bit less death benefit for the $200 that you're putting in, but wasn't that much. I mean, $4,000, that's actually pretty good. So if you die from an accident, which most people that under the age of 70 die from an accident, right? That's just the statistics. But or so you can go back, design. You say, okay, well, I just want to know how much is it going to be if I want, I don't know, $250,000 of coverage. Okay, well, let's take a look. Run. Oh, sorry, that was the premium amount. Let me go back. Stop. Okay, so I want $250,000 of coverage. I'm going to hit run. And so that would cost me or them $315 basically for $250,000 of coverage of Advantage Whole Life from Americo. It's a little expensive, but this price never goes up, right? And the coverage never goes down, right? It doesn't change. You're locked in for basically for life there. So right, so that's Whole Life from Americo. Pretty straightforward. And I do have, a couple of other. I can do the Mutual of Omaha quote here. You can download the app and you can have it to you. You can get contracted with them as well. So they have their term as well. They have long-term care. They have their Guaranteed Advantage, which is a guaranteed whole life product. Critical Advantage, Guaranteed Universal Life Express, Index Universal Life Express from Americo. So let's just see what their term life is. So let's do California. 35 years old, female. Tobacco use, no, it's going to be standard. You can do standard plus. All right, so let's just do standard plus. Let's look at a 30-year. And let's look at $500,000 of coverage. Let's see how it compares to NOG. So, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's kind of the same. So $500,000 of coverage monthly is $55, right? NOG was what, 52? So
Yeah.
it's not bad. So it's just a little bit more than NOG, but not too much more. So definitely an option. Mutual of Omaha has a little bit more leniency on medical things. So if they have, and I think I have like a cheat sheet. I think I might even send it to you, right? For certain medications, depending on what you're taking, depending on what your ailments are or what your medical issues are, like they will take you more than like Americo or sometimes even NLG. So Mutual of Omaha might be a good option for your client if they have some sort of medical condition. So, right, so, I mean, so you can see how very easy it is to illustrate with these apps, right?
Yeah.
You can add accidental death benefit, you can add a children's rider, and you could add that waiver premium rider. Again, if something happens to you, you can't make the payment, your policy is not going to lapse, it'll stay in force, right, until you're able to make the payment. So it'll cost you a little bit more monthly premium. Let's just see how much more. And for $4 more, so it's not that much more. All right. You have obviously your Guaranteed Advantage. Let's look at their Index Universal Life. Okay. So let's do California. Again, let's do a 35-year-old female. No smoke. Let's say she wants, the 500,000. Oh, they only go up to 300,000. So let's just say they want 250,000. Calculate. So for $350,000 or $250,000 of coverage on an Index Universal Life Express, $85 of premium, which is not bad. Okay. So that's definitely an option for you. And you can obviously play around with this. You can go either premium amount or you can do face amount where say, okay, all I want to have is $200 a month. How much coverage can I get? And I want to pay it by month. Oh, the most you can put in is $99. Okay. How much is $100 of insurance by me? $294,000. So that's not bad. So, these are Mutual of Omaha doesn't have the best products, but they do have some. What is Living Promise? Let's see here. I think this is for like a guaranteed product, gassy level or graded. It's a female. So they want 40. The most you can do is this is their final expense product. California. Calculate. So this is their final expense. This is a 55-year-old female. It'd be $101 a month. So not the cheapest, but at least they do get some coverage, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And again, you can always come in, download the app, play with it, and figure out what's the best thing for your client. And obviously, the same thing like with the others online, it gives you more options.
Right.
But the app is supposed to be pretty fast and easy and quick. Okay. So do you have any questions?
No, because like you explained it pretty well, and I'm gonna be repeating over and over. That way, I'm able to like make it stick to my mind.
Laura, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you? Hello.
Oh, did I turn you down? Sorry. What was that? Did you have any questions?
No, I think you explained it pretty well. It's just a matter of me like watching the recording over and over, and that way like it'll just become part of me, I guess.
Yeah, and practice it, right? Go online. I mean, I learned a lot of this stuff from me playing around. Like, you know what else too? When you go online, even like with Americo, whatever, a lot of them will give you like there's usually sections in their websites. Let me show you. Okay. So this is MLG. You can go here to like training, and you can actually go in and start to look at the products, let's say for life products. And they'll give you, there's usually a bunch of videos. You can look at different kinds of like what it is. You can look at their specific stuff. It'll kind of explain to you what does it offer. Okay, guaranteed death benefit, a guaranteed cash value, da 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 da. So, and then they'll even have videos. They'll have a bunch of different stuff that you as an agent have access to. Like I know with let me see here. Did it log me out? I think it logged me out. That's fine. Stinking. So yeah, so I mean, you can go in here and you can see different sales strategies, how to deal with families, individuals. They'll have webinar calendar. You can see what when they're doing webinars about certain stuff, the learning library. So you can go here and I think you can learn about these different products, annuities, the software. You can learn about the different indexes. Like, okay, well, what do you mean? What are the different indexes? How do I know how much interest I might earn or whatever? The deep dive into the different indexes, in-force illustrations, how to illustrate, the payment to maturity, and as is, so on and so forth. So you have all these different videos of different kinds of trainings to learn about their products. Got term, when's the time to go to permanent? This is the kind of stuff that could help you just learn how to answer people's questions, or for you yourself, right? To learn, like, what does it mean? Okay, well, what do they mean by a 403B, right? Or like sell, how to sell to teachers or something, right? And they have different retirement plans or whatever. So I suggest that you kind of, I mean, it takes time. Like, this isn't stuff that you're going to learn overnight, but when you're sitting around instead of watching a movie or watching Netflix, you can go and learn about the products, right? I know Americo's website is actually really good. Let's see if I can pull it up really quick, and I do have to go, but let's see here, Americo. Let's see here, Sales Connection, that's what it's called. So you go to Sales Connection, and you should be able to, create a login and everything if you're already contracted with them. Where was it that I found? I think it might just be on their website. Agent login. Come on. Okay, yeah. So on this right here. So you can go here and you go to products, you can resource center, education and training. So you can go there and they'll give you like agent guides. They'll give you about life insurance. They'll give you about mortgage protection, seniors, what to do for them. So you have different flyers and stuff, the PowerPoint presentations. You can do, you can order supplies, you can order flyers. You can basically learn about it, learn what these are. General life products. Advantage whole life, and it'll tell you, given a description of what it is, right? Let's see here, technology, online training recordings. Here we go. So you can do training videos. Turn on Wistia. So boom. So you can watch these little videos. They get 12 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes about top 10 questions for agent services, easy to use the e-application, how to fill that out. So even before you fill something out, like you go in here, final expense, learn about their final expense, learn about their Eagle Premier, their mortgage protection, right? CBO training, how to illustrate, continuation trade. So like if you want to know, okay, what's continuation? I saw that on their app. Okay, well, I can go here and I can look this stuff up. So, and I've watched a few of these. So that's where I've learned a lot of the stuff that I have. I don't know everything, but definitely just as I tell you, like I should go in here, look, trust me, I have done it myself and, I could probably use some more. But, this is where they have resources on their different sites that can help you learn more about the products and understand what they, what they do, what they don't do, and so on and so forth. And look, they even have Spanish ones. So. All right. Any other questions?
No, Joe, thank you. I'll keep looking at these videos and the recording as well. So. Okay.
Cool. Well, I'm sorry I have to cut it short. I do have to get to my son's football game. I'm already late, but
okay.
If you have questions, how did you do on the other calls on the other leads?
I haven't called all of them, but yes, I started calling I'm like a little over halfway through them. I need to practice the script better on my own so that when I actually call them, I get better results.
Good. And get that confidence up.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Cool. Well, if you have any questions, you can let me know. Excuse me.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I'll send you the recording once it's done processing and everything, and probably later on tonight.
Awesome.
All right, cool. Okay. Bye, Laura. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Joe. Have a great football time.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.